Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello people and welcome to Footage Ajmu. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone fasting. May Allah accept all your good deeds and forget all your sins, of course. Forgive all your sins and accept all your good deeds. There's a lot to talk about. Is Isak to Liverpool, which is somehow it doesn't have a backlash for the media as when Arsenal are linked to him, as it is okay for him to go to Liverpool. But it's not okay if he goes to Arsenal. Will Mikel Arteta get a clean slate under the new sporting director? That is the main topic that people talk about. Of course, new sporting director means a new era for Arsenal. Will he win the league with the new sporting director or not? And there is a small topic on the side, of course, we'll talk about it. Is Nuno Espirito Santo a better manager than Ange Postecoglou? Of course, that is something that we need to speak about. But big up everybody that is here. We have Kunle back on the channel. So big up Kunle for joining. HD, as you guys see. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. We have Wolfie for the first. Go ahead. Do your intro.
Oh, yeah, now, my people. It's your dark-skinned man from the motherland. And if you didn't know before, tonight you go understand. Mo forgot, man. Mo forgot. Now he's going to understand. He's going to remember.
Yeah.
How you doing, man? Smash the like.
Alhamdulillah. And we have Wolfie for the first time on the channel, actually. He's a Forest fan with Forest Fan TV, tagged in the description as well, as much, of course, with the Tunnel TV media that are doing wonders, of course, at the current moment, with the Kunle and Canopy and the guys, of course, there. Wolfie is here. Big up Wolfie for being here. Appreciate you, man, for joining us. Finally, we got you on the channel, of course. I love that mic, bro. Can you show us that mic, bro? Look at this professional mic.
Oh, my one.
Yeah, show us that. Oh my God, he got the whole thing and Force Fan TV and everything. Look at this. Look at
this. Trying to play it down.
Around for four-sided.
Yes. And we got Mack joining us, of course. Big up Mack for being here. Absolutely. Premier League winner in advance, of course, here to rep his Liverpool. And of course, we got the regular, the man himself, the legend, Ashraf, of course. Big up, Ashraf.
Big up, guys.
Yeah. But listen, let's kick off. Let's start this by the Isak to Liverpool thing. I just wanted to ask a question, okay? I asked it to Igal this morning. Why is it okay if Liverpool are linked to Isak and it's just fine, and people don't ridicule that, and when he was linked to Arsenal a month ago, people ridiculed this. Said that he's never going to join Arsenal. Why? What? Does anybody know the reason why?
Yeah, because Liverpool would be a step up from Newcastle. Arsenal would be a sidestep. that's
Arsenal is also a step up. You're just being fraudulent. as
Explain.
always.
Wolfie.
No, Wolfie, please expand. They need a reality check sometimes. Wolfie's really good at doing this.
I can't believe it needs explanation. Newcastle haven't won a trophy in years. Arsenal haven't won one FA Cup in years. They can get Champions League. They're fighting for a top 4 battle. So are Arsenal. Isak at Newcastle will be able to be paid more than he could at Arsenal. So why would he want to go to Arsenal? Yeah,
Of course he can.
of course he can.
Okay.
Of course he can.
I mean, if Isak really wants to sort out his injury problems, he probably doesn't want to go to Arsenal and play up front because they seem to be dropping like flies at Arsenal. Their strikers, so it's probably,
But that's a knee-jerk
not
reaction.
a good move.
Saka
for
and
him.
Havertz
No,
are not
actually,
getting-
that's
What's
actually
happening
you're
here?
so
Liverpool
wrong.
away.
Sorry,
What am I actually listening to? What's going on here?
this is so
Mad.
wrong because Liverpool
Yeah,
had,
what-
but see, Liverpool had a lot of
Exactly.
injuries last season and Arsenal didn't. So your claim, Mac, is
Hey.
so wrong. Actually, it's so
Bro,
wrong.
the whole thing is
Vice
hilarious,
versa now.
man. Because
No.
for comparing a team that has, I don't even know when Newcastle last won a trophy, and they're currently
70
not in the
years.
Champions League.
1958
and saying going to Arsenal as a sidestep is just it's a bit
It's mad.
disingenuous. So it's
But they
crazy
have
to
gone
me.
to two
How's that
finals. They've gone to
disingenuous?
two
How old
finals
is
in the last
Isak?
2 years.
How old is Isak?
25.
You tell me.
25, right. So what trophies would he have seen Arsenal lift in his living football memory as a football player?
I don't understand what.
Well, I'm
FA Cup.
25.
relevant?
I'm 25, so let me tell you,
I'm
Wolfie.
not, I'm
Go
trying
on,
to
Jordz.
understand
How's
what
that
that
relevant?
relevance
Maybe
has to
Only
do
Community
with
FA
Shield.
Cups.
Exactly.
Let me
No,
tell
it's
you that.
completely
So
relative.
he's seen. What have you seen, Jordz?
No, we're talking about
You've
Isak.
seen FA. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
we know
okay.
it's my
Sorry, sorry,
It's the
sorry,
same age as
sorry,
Jordz. So, Jordz, you can remember them winning one FA Cup, yeah?
No, they've won quite a few FA Cups. Give it to
He's
Arsenal. They've won
25,
like
so he
Is
would
that
have-
why he
They're more
joined
like 4 or
Newcastle?
5.
Because he
25,
grew
and
up
in
on the
25 years, we've won 2 Premier League titles. And
No, but
No, in
Kunle,
living
we're talking about
memory.
what you'd
He's like,
actually
that's
memory.
the club I need to
I
go
don't
to.
understand. Are
Newcastle.
you in his mind? Do you determine what he remembers and what he
Well,
doesn't?
if he's
No, he's
25
not
years of
bringing
age,
up
I can
what
talk
Arsenal
from
haven't.
experience. I can
I
talk
don't know.
to
I
a
can
guy that's
remember
of his
something that
age
happened
group,
to me when I was
and
3 years old.
I
so
can talk
why
about
can't
someone of
Isak?
his age group, and I would know. I wasn't old enough to see the Invincibles. That was just like
You're
no,
in Declan Rice's age group. Why
But
did
no
Declan
one's
Rice
talking
join
Of
about
course I
you,
was,
bro.
but if you're
No
like
one's
4 or
talking
5
about
years old, you didn't see the Invincibles.
Hey.
He didn't see that, bro.
Yeah,
Who
but you're in
told you?
Declan.
Who
You're in
told you if they
Declan
saw it or
Rice's
not?
age group.
Oh, what? So
Yeah,
you
but
remember
what's
when you
the
were
same age as him?
I
hear it.
have
hear it.
memories from when I was 3 years old, George. So what we did?
Oh, you remember it? Yeah, cool.
I don't remember.
Tell me
And
what
your
Arsenal
memories
players
of
are
football
saying.
memories
I have
of 3, yeah?
memories from when I was 3 years old. I do have memories.
Yeah, you have memories when you're 3 years old. I don't think Invincibles would have been your memory.
What I'm not going to do is speak on the next man's memory, and I'm not going to do that. And I don't think anyone on this panel can officially do that. All I
That's
know
good.
is in the last 25 years, we've won a couple of Premier Leagues, we've got Invincible, and we won 4 FA Cups. In that same 25-year period, Newcastle's been to 3.
So you think
3
as a
finals.
2-year-old...
Hold on, can I finish?
Isak-
I didn't interrupt you. In the last 25 years, Newcastle have been to, I think, 3 finals and lost them all. So if you think going to Arsenal is a sidestep from that, then that's on you. I'm not here to see how you judge football. But a team that's been challenging for the Premier League for the last 3 years, whether we won it or not, we have officially been challenging for the last 3 years. Who knows? He might think he's the last piece of the puzzle to take us over the line to win the Premier League. Because a lot of you rival fans have been shouting and screaming about you need a number 9, you need a number 9. When we're talking about number 9 to potentially win us the Premier League title, Wolfie's doing the disingenuous thing to say it's a sidestep.
It is.
It's a sidestep.
It is.
But it's not disingenuous, though. If we're being
I'm
honest,
just trying to be edgy, Wolfie.
Okay, let me hear your argument for it then, George.
Can I
Can I
say
get
something,
Mac?
please?
Go
Can I
ahead.
say something?
This isn't Rivals Rumble, guys.
So Isak, let's be honest, Isak is ready for the next level, isn't he? Like, he's a top player. He should be playing in the Champions League. So if you look at Champions League teams who are probably going to qualify, Arsenal are going to be in that. But the question is, Arsenal have needed a striker for God knows how long, and for some reason, he keeps on signing wingers and he keeps on signing midfielders and defenders. He doesn't sign a striker. So is he really going to spend 150 million on a forward? Is that what Arteta is going to do? Like,
It's
is
not
he
the-
going to
That's
be
not
backed
the-
by
that's
Crumpy
That's not the
to do
question,
that?
though. But that's not the question,
No,
though.
no,
That
it's
was-
not the
We'll deal with
question.
that
Can
question
I
if that was
answer the
question.
question? Can I answer it? Because the sidestep is, for one, it's true. Because let's have it right.
Yeah, let's have it right.
Newcastle aren't winning the league, and nor are you winning the league right now. You haven't. You've not been shown to do it. And what I see from Arsenal is regression. You guys are in a regression right now. It's not like you guys have progressed from the last 2
In
years.
second place,
got-
yeah.
But no, we're talking Kunle. Do you know what it is? Kunle's doing this right now, but I speak to Kunle often about Arsenal, and he feels the exact same way. So he's going to do this to defend his club. But you feel you're in a regression, and you've taken.
They were out of a title race in February. At least
same
last
thing
year
as
it went to
Ashraf.
May.
This is the funniest thing is, we got 2 Arsenal fans that will give it to you, and they will say Arteta needs to go at the end of the season when he doesn't win anything. So they both believe that they've taken a step back.
What's that
But
got
you
to do
believe-
with Isak
No.
coming to Arsenal?
Yeah, I don't know.
We're talking about
Let him
two
land,
completely
let him
different
land.
things.
I didn't interrupt you, so you're going to interrupt. Are we going to do all that, Kunle? All right,
Okay.
all right. So with Isak and Arsenal, you have to look at it like this. With Isak at Newcastle, for one, they're in their second final in just 2 years, so they've been progressing with him there. He's been steadily getting better every season there, and also Newcastle as a team are actually they're giving him the players to make that team better. They're actually building a squad there. They're actually doing something. Arsenal aren't building right now. You was building, and that building looks like it's had a little bit of a demolition. And when Real Madrid come in, yeah, and bro, and the Saliba gets that call, we know what's gonna happen. So when I look at the Isak deal, we have to be realistic and honest here.
Wait.
You guys, what are you guys gonna offer that Newcastle can't offer him? As you said, challenge for the league. Why is he gonna leave you guys to challenge for the league if he could potentially do that at Newcastle? Especially if he has faith in himself to lead them to doing that. And then also you look at Champions League football. Newcastle well in their chances of getting Champions League football this season. So I don't see that you guys can offer him something much better than what he currently has. So why would
Jordz,
he
hold on,
Okay, no, let me
hold on.
Let me rebuttal, please.
I want to ask him a straight question before you go on. So, George, your statement, what I understood from you, is that you think in the next 3 years, for example, Newcastle will be in a better place than Arsenal.
That's not what I said. I said they could.
That's
They're
literally
Arsenal are regressing. No. What I
didn't
said
say
was
that.
Arsenal are regressing. Newcastle are progressing. Whether that means Newcastle's going to surpass Arsenal is a different conversation. But would I back Newcastle to be challenging within the next 3 or 4 years? Yeah, I do think Newcastle could challenge. They just
That's
need the
their
right
ambition.
investment.
That's not what he
Newcastle has
asked.
the right manager.
That's not what he asked. So let's just
A
go
weird
first of all,
a
the
weird
first-
situation. A weird situation. Newcastle have probably got a better chance of winning a trophy than Arsenal. Like this season, like at least they're in a final. Like Arsenal have got to get all the way to another final, like to even.
Newcastle have been in 2 finals in 3 years. How many of us?
Guys, I don't think anyone got the question actually.
Exactly.
Been in,
Everyone
will be in
kept
2
on the
finals.
question.
No one
Original
actually got
question.
the question.
The original question, Mo, let me help you with this. The original question that Mo asked, which everyone seemed to dance around, was when there was links between Isak and Arsenal, there was crazy backlash. Why would he leave? Why would he leave? This and that. And now that they're linked with Liverpool, why is there not the same kind of energy?
Ashraf, I
agree if he
answered
has a
that
choice.
question.
I agree if he has a choice between Liverpool and Arsenal, and I've had this argument on South Channel a couple of days ago. Yes, I agree he should choose Liverpool over Arsenal. But there's no scenario where Newcastle to Arsenal is not a jump up for him. It's a definite massive jump up because you guys keep saying, well, Newcastle
No
need
scenario.
Newcastle need X, Y, and Z player, and they could challenge. Arsenal only need Isak and a winger to challenge. Wait, sorry. Let me rephrase it because we have been challenging. It's crazy to say to challenge. We only need Isak and a left winger to have a good chance of winning the league. I don't think we will get him.
Good chance.
But to say that, it's the same thing. Last season, Newcastle regressed. So by Jord's logic, since Arsenal are regressing this season,
They
should have
had
left last season.
statistically
By Wolfie's
the
logic,
worst injury
by
crisis
Wolfie's
in Europe,
logic, sorry,
but
not
you're
Wolfie,
going
not
to
Wolfie, my
sit here
bad.
and be
One
disingenuous.
second,
Don't be
Jordz, I didn't
disingenuous.
interrupt you. By
No, but don't be
Mack's
disingenuous.
logic, he said, by Mack's logic, he said, well, Newcastle have a better chance of winning the cup this season. Real Betis had a better chance of winning Copa del Rey a couple of years ago, so players have joined them over Real Madrid. Newcastle have a better chance of winning a cup this season than Man City, so players join Newcastle over Man City. That's a ridiculous statement to make. Teams have off seasons, but there's no question between Arsenal and Newcastle right now. Arsenal is a much better club. You banter us for trophies when Newcastle haven't won one for how long? 70 years. And you guys are banking on the hope that actually they'll probably invest. Actually, they will probably be serious. Actually, they'll probably keep all their players. Actually, they'll probably make Champions League and not have to sell any players. With Arsenal, it's literally just
makes more sense than Arsenal, bro. That makes so much more sense.
Yeah, it makes way more sense. 100%.
You're
I agree.
spot on
100%.
that.
It
Yeah,
definitely makes more sense. Such a ridiculous
Wait,
statement.
wait, you're saying there's no scenario where going to staying at Newcastle is better for him than Arsenal? Is that you said that? Yes, Ashraf.
I'm saying there is no scenario where going to Arsenal is not a step up.
Okay, so if you don't get Champions League this season and they do, would that be a step down?
I'm not answering that. I'm not answering that. I swear I'm not answering that.
No?
Okay.
What do you mean?
Wolfie, this isn't Rivals Rumble.
Wolfie,
We don't do like...
But Wolfie, that's not a plausible scenario. That's not a plausible scenario.
It is. There are plenty of Arsenal fans that don't think they're getting top 4. Plenty.
We're not doing that. Please, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna turn this show into just banter. Wolfie, there is no plausible scenario.
Yes, on both occasions. Yes, it's a step up from Newcastle to Arsenal, and it's a step up from Liverpool.
Even the Liverpool. Yes.
At least
Liverpool over Arsenal. I agree.
You aren't gonna tell me there is 11 games left in the league. A team that is 10 points behind have a chance of Arsenal not making the Champions League and Newcastle making the Champions League.
No, he's saying there's no plausible. I was just underlining the fact. Look,
but that's
the bottom line.
But you agree that it's not plausible, right? You agree?
It could be plausible. I think it could be plausible. Arsenal have got 3 tough games coming up. Games coming up.
This is an Arsenal team that have got 9 draws in the Premier League.
And no attack. Yeah.
Jordz, and we're still 6 points clear.
You guys have 2 more wins than Newcastle. You're not much better than them, bro.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Much better to be second though, and they're 10 points behind us. Stop this.
Well, you do know about being second.
What is this garbage? What is this garbage? Bro, we have Saka and Martinelli coming back in 2 weeks. We have Saka and Martinelli coming. We are 6 points clear. We're 6 points clear with no attack. So now when Saka and Martinelli get back, Kunle, I guess the logic is when Saka and Martinelli back, we're gonna get worse.
We'll get worse, yeah, we'll get worse.
I think Saka is gonna miss like.
Because when they were there, were you top of the league?
I think we were second.
We were higher than Newcastle. That's what
and where are you now? You're second. So you think you're gonna get better? Yeah.
Wolfie's
argument higher than Newcastle all the time. Though
you're gonna get better. Okay, makes sense.
Destroyed, so he changed it to. Are you winning the league?
This is actually crazy.
That's
crazy.
I didn't say that. You're talking that Saka comes back and suddenly everything's alhamdulillah, everything's okay. Everyone's happy. No, okay.
No one said that.
Saka, and Saka won't be back in 2 weeks.
Wolfie, there is logic. Wolfie, but the logical scenario is that when Saka and Martinelli come back, they get better.
None of Ashraf saying in 2 weeks. On what basis is he saying 2 weeks on Saka?
Not 2 weeks after the international break. I mean, basically, sorry.
He won't even be back by the international break.
That's what John Cross Mirror and the Mirror is reporting. So
you had to pull it up. So offended.
No, of course they're gonna pull it. You're gonna say 2 weeks, and then as if everything's rosy.
Yeah, 2 weeks because there's only 2 weeks left to the international break, and then after that, it's 2 weeks off anyway.
But listen, back to the point, right? I think it's so disingenuous that everyone sits here and thinks that Newcastle are in a position where they would have to let Isak go, or that Isak wants to leave. Forget Liverpool.
I can respond to this very easy. Isak himself.
No, you don't need to.
No. About Isak, forget Arsenal. Forget Isak. Forget the Arsenal talk. Isak himself said that I believe that I deserve to play Champions League in this club or another. That's not Mo talking.
Okay, but that does not mean he is going to leave, or he has to leave, or Newcastle would let him leave. Does it?
Obviously, he doesn't have to leave.
They will let him leave. Why are you arguing? A price tag on his head.
Does Saliba have to leave to Madrid? Does Saliba have to leave to Madrid?
Yeah, but everyone is assuming he will leave because his contract is low. That's the difference.
No, but we still have a contract. We can let him go for free.
Yeah, but you could let him run it out, which you wouldn't do. Whereas Isak has a longer contract. Yeah, but they don't have 18 months left on his contract. They have longer than that. They're in no rush. They're in no rush.
So they will sell him for the right price. If someone offers them 150 million, he's gone.
And do you think someone will come in with 150? Do you think even Liverpool would come in with 150? Liverpool wouldn't come in with 150, man.
But I disagree with 150. I believe that if Isak wants to go and Liverpool offer 110 or something, it will be less.
Yeah,
Liverpool can
I agree.
actually get it for less than 100 if they offer a player on top of him. Come on.
I mean, be
Let's not.
120.
We know that the player power now is very strong in the world. That's why when Rice wanted to leave, he left. When Caicedo, like, it happens, right? If Isak says that I want to play Champions League and Newcastle don't make a Champions League, which is a very plausible situation, that Newcastle comes 6th and they don't play Champions League, and Isak says that I want to go, they have to let him go because they're not going to keep the guy against his will at the club. And if Liverpool come calling and Arsenal come calling, I believe Liverpool are the favorite destination. No one argued this, right? But my problem is why everyone ridicules Arsenal when they are linked to a player, even though, as Kunle says, they asked him to get that player. It's very strange. You ask Arsenal to get that player, and when they're linked to him, they're ridiculed.
There's levels of what they can
If
go
when we're
after
linked to
in
him,
their
if he comes to
position.
us, there's no chance in us winning the title. But that's the person that we needed.
No, we're not saying that. We're not saying that. You should have got Isak.
I'm not hyping Arsenal. I'm not
You
hyping
are a
Arsenal.
little bit.
There are facts.
Wolfie,
We
what you
cannot
said.
just sit here and say that if Arsenal come calling, Isak is going to say no to Arsenal. I'm staying with the no Champions League club. Why?
The reason why I'm responding to what Wolfie said is because he said something like, "What if Isak moves to Arsenal? What's to say that he can win the league there?" Right, which is a fair point. But also, a lot of people have been saying that what prevented us winning this league was having a number 9, and having a number 9 like Isak obviously improves our chances of winning the league. And maybe Isak thinks that. Maybe I am the missing link. Maybe I can go and play the number 14 like my boyhood hero Thierry Henry and win the league for Arsenal. Maybe he thinks like that, but the fact that you're ruling out that thought process, it doesn't make sense to me.
No, I haven't ruled that thought process. So now you're putting words in my mouth.
No, because
he's
you said
one of
Arsenal's
the 9 is one of the links.
Arsenal's a sidestep. Why would he do that? Sounds like you're ruling out. No?
Yeah, exactly. Sidestep.
Yeah, because you know what else needs to change.
Why would he do a sidestep?
He
said, why would he still do a sidestep?
Yeah, so because you know what else needs to change.
I'm explaining it's not a sidestep, and that's what I was doing.
No, it is when you've still got Arteta in charge.
Yeah, but Wolfie, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Even with Arteta in charge, you said that's what we needed to win the league.
Okay, so it's a very good segue to the actual talk about this Arteta thing. Guys, listen to Luke. Appreciate you, Luke, for supporting the channel. Big up for supporting the channel. Guys, we cannot have more votes than the likes. We have over 160 votes, and we're not even on 100 likes yet. So we have over 450 people in the house. Let's get to 100 likes at least. Hit the like button underneath your live chat, guys. Come on now. Like the video. Jackie is saying, only thing Arsenal has on their side is London-based media since they have won a big, what? Trophy. Google, iPhone, YouTube, Facebook, all been invented. Liverpool, 2 Champions Leagues and 2 Premier Leagues. But Jack, we're not comparing Liverpool to Arsenal. Even Arsenal fans said that Liverpool are more attractive than Arsenal. So no one has argued that he would choose Arsenal over Liverpool. None. Has anyone?
You just wanted to give away free money, man. Big up, man. Big up, Jack.
Kunle, have you said?
Though, Jack,
Jack, you literally argued a point that no one did. That the point is Newcastle. But listen, I wanted to actually ask another question about Arsenal, which is very, very important. The new sporting director, the guy from Atletico Madrid, looks very legit. Looks very good. He's signing. Why did you make that freaking face? Why did you make that face?
I didn't make any face.
Again,
not you. Here you go. Here you go.
People getting gassed up about like this Berta guy, gassing him up. Oh, he signed João Felix. How did that work out, bro? Like, how many bad signings have Atletico Madrid made over the years?
But he signed Griezmann. He signed Man City. He signed Julian Alvarez.
How many
nothing positive about Arsenal with Spurs, bro. Nothing. Zero, bro. Zero, bro.
Bad signings has he made? Atletico Madrid have been known.
Every single sporting director has done that.
Bad after. Just because they look good at Atletico Madrid and La Liga, don't make them good players. Conor Gallagher's a star over there.
He signed Luis Suarez.
He's a second coming of Christ. Have you not seen Diego Simeone gas him up? Everyone was laughing at Gallagher in the Premier League. Let's not try and repaint stories. João Felix couldn't even get a start at Chelsea, but people are trying to gas up these signings.
I guess Jordz needs to Jordz needs to brush up his football education, because this guy signed Luis Suarez and they won the league in the first season where he scored 21 goals. He signed David Villa. He signed David Villa. He signed David Villa in 2014. He signed David Villa in 2014. They won La Liga and reached a Champions League final. He signed Julian Alvarez. This season.
No.
And they have a chance.
Ashraf, you're not doing anything.
I'm literally finishing the list.
All the signings that you're naming, Luis Suarez, David Villa, both got kicked out of Barcelona and ended up in Atletico. It wasn't a case of he signed them.
What about
and he
Griezmann?
identified them. They're not.
What about
they're not true
Griezmann?
signings.
What about Griezmann? What about Julian Alvarez?
Didn't he sell Griezmann and buy him back from?
What about
Wait,
here's another one for you. Here's another one for you. Here's another one for you. What about Ballon d'Or winner Rodri? What about Ballon d'Or winner Rodri?
Can I say something on that? I think what's really interesting with Arsenal getting Atletico Madrid's sporting director is Arteta now plays like Simeone football. So, you know, you might start actually doing something now because you'll have a director who'll kind of fit the style of football that Arteta's going into now, because he's got rid of his old ways of, you know, attacking, passing, you know, was it Pep light football, and now he's going to play Simeone defensive football where you got 6 at the back all the time. So having that director of football might actually help.
Yeah, that joke didn't smash though. That joke didn't land.
Yeah, it didn't really work here.
Yeah,
It didn't land. It didn't land.
Too long, bro. Next.
Anyway,
No, look, I just hope he doesn't come in and
can we
report
not have that? Was not the question. The question was very simple. Do Mikel Arteta get a clean slate, as some fans say, under this new sporting director? Because Edu has messed up. He's gonna stay, Mikel Arteta. Let's just be serious. He's gonna stay. He's not going anywhere. So the talk about him out, him in is rubbish. He's gonna stay. Does this guy, the new guy, Berta, whatever his name is, give him a clean slate now with new signings and stuff?
I
don't think it gives him a clean slate. I think it gives him an extension.
Wolf, you cannot be serious once in your life.
Yeah, seriously, bro. Come on, Wolf.
I said I hope so, man.
I think he comes because again, everyone has been speculating about who had more power, Arteta or Edu. Was Edu just getting signings Arteta wanted, or was he just getting the profile of players and Arteta was working with them? So we'll obviously get to see now. I think if Berta comes in as a sporting director and he just gets players that of which profile work for Arsenal, not necessarily for Arteta, and Arteta has to get these players to work in the team, then I think Arteta probably will have that 1 or 2 years. And if we don't win anything, I think then the decision will be made. But if he comes in and he's just facilitating signings for Arteta, like Arteta says, I want A, B, C, and this guy's just going to work as negotiator, then yeah, I think Arteta's going to be here longer, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it gives him a chance at least to start next season with the pressure off his shoulder a little bit with the new sporting director, with the signings. Like that's my belief. Like I believe he's going to go next season. You're going to try to sign some people that I don't think that he would have signed with Edu, because I believe that maybe Mikel Arteta had more power than Edu at the club. I believe this guy is going to come in. He's going to be trying to be the boss in terms of signings. He's going to sign the players he wants, not what everything that Arteta wants. Because Arteta proved that he can't scout the good talent. And I think it's a very good move for Arsenal. Arsenal fans, for some reason, are not excited for whatever reason. I don't know why.
You know what it is? Arsenal fans, we just like things to complain about, to be fair. But what I think about this guy coming in is anything that gives Arteta less responsibility when it comes of players in and out is a good thing for Arsenal, because people know my stance. The only thing for me to save Arteta's job this season would be a miraculous, out of the ordinary Champions League victory, which is not happening. So I think someone else should get a chance. But I also believe he's going to be here next season, so I'm not going to be toxic enough to be like, oh, Arteta out. I know what my club's on, innit? So I'm going to get behind it. But this makes it better, because it seems like in certain scenarios he was able to bully Edu into his reasoning, which led to some signings which I don't agree with. But so for me, anything that reduces Arteta's responsibility when it comes to players in and out is a positive thing for me right now.
I think it doesn't matter, does it? It's what happens on the pitch. If on the pitch Arsenal start winning and they've bought a striker, then do the Arsenal fans really care if it's Berta or Bert, man? Who cares, man? Like, just sort it out on the pitch, and then no one's going to be talking about off the pitch. The only time we talk about off the pitch stuff is when on the pitch isn't good. And that's
the
the end
reason
of
why we're
it.
talking about off the pitch is because on the pitch isn't really good right now, isn't it?
Exactly.
If we had a better squad, i.e., better decisions in our transfer situation, especially the last two windows, then maybe we wouldn't be here. And this could potentially help that. So we're not here again.
It doesn't matter if it's
Didn't
him that
Arteta ask
comes
for a
in or the
striker?
Real Madrid one or whatever.
For
As
me,
long as
it
they
doesn't
buy you
matter
a
who
player
comes
that you
in.
want, who cares? You know.
I'm with it.
Didn't he ask for a striker, Arteta, in the last window? Like, didn't he say that he wasn't backed?
He's anti-striker, man. I don't buy that.
It's one of them ones. I hear you. To be fair, it's two-sided. This January, I believe the board they could have bailed out Arteta for some of his crimes in it by giving him a striker, but they also were like, brother, we've given you a chance with a couple of these signings and you got it wrong. So boy, I'm gonna wait till summer and try and get our main targets in it. I think it might have been that what happened. Obviously, I would have preferred they gave him money this January, but I can also understand as well, like maybe he's got a few wrong and him pushing for that signing. Maybe they thought, you know what, we'll just stick to our plan of our new director coming in the summer and we'll figure it out from there. Do I like it? Not necessarily, but maybe that's how they thought it.
The problem with this, though, is like you said, it's backwards because does the director now come in? Because how it works with a normal football club is a sporting director comes in, they take control of the sporting operations, not just football, the whole sporting operations. And so they will decide a lot what happens with the squad, what players need to be moved on, what players need to be brought in. They do that in, with the manager, but ultimately the decision's made by the club. At this moment in time, with Arteta been there for 5 years, Berta going to be the new guy coming in. I know this is going to happen with anyone, but Arteta already seems like he's got so much power. It doesn't look like Berta's going to be able to come in and be like, all right, I want to sign players to play this sort of way of playing and suit the club because this is how we're going to move forward. That's probably not going to happen.
And Jordz, that's a really good point. So for me, any director that's coming in should be like, look, if I don't get this and this done, I'm not coming in it. That should be their stance. I hope they're not like Amarin and just say, yeah, whatever you say, I'm coming. I'll do whatever you say, like that. Hopefully they have some like standards and say, look, if this and this and this don't happen, I'm not coming. And then they don't come. It's one of them.
Yeah, but Kunle, I think it's one of the easiest jobs someone could have because as that director, if you come in and you get a striker in, get a backup winger, and get a new contract for Saliba. You do those three tasks. The Arsenal fans are going to love you. It's not a hard job to do. It's a hard job in terms of getting over the line. But I'm saying in the terms of the profile of the job, you do those 3 or 4 things. All you will do is put it all on Arteta and say, here you go, Arteta. You've got your striker. This is what the fans wanted. You got your backup players. Now you have to go and perform. And that will make us see what Arteta's got.
The thing is, he'll also Wolfie have to look at replacements because if Partey, Jorginho, Zinchenko, all these guys are leaving this summer, he has to make sure the replacements are
coming
adequate.
And things like that, isn't there? For another
God, I hope not. But my point is, whoever leaves, that replacement has to be correct. You cannot go and experiment. If we lose Partey, because Partey's a starter right now, he's not a squad player. If you lose someone like Partey, you need to get that Zubimendi deal done or someone of that quality. By the way, backup for Saka is one thing. We have to get a striker and a left winger, right? Left winger and striker for me are non-negotiable. If we don't get both, we have zero chance next season. We have to get both. And right winger, I would only look depending on Waneri. Because if Waneri is going to be the backup for Odeegard, then yes, I think we should get a backup for Saka. But if he's going to now stay as a backup for Saka and compete there, then we have to get a 10.
We need a backup for Odeegard, bro. So I think Waneri for that.
Yeah, then I guess Waneri should stick on the
Let's
right.
keep it a buck.
Yeah, I don't think you need a backup for Odeegard. I think you need someone
upgrade.
else. Actually, you need an attacking. You need an attacking midfielder instead of Odeegard. Odeegard is the 8. I was talking to Igal about this. I think Nwaneri and Saka can run the right side. You need a left winger and a striker and an attacking midfielder. And if Thomas Partey stays, as the reports are saying, 1 more year, you're good to go. You're good to go. Why not? I think that's a very.
8. I think Odeegard is
I don't like the Odeegard in the 8 idea. I've heard a lot of people say it. I don't like.
And he has not been creating chances. So where do we go from him? Bench him then.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think it's just on him. I think the whole team has been poor. Yeah, I think the whole team. Yeah, obviously. I mean, KDB was
best. No point playing a guy that doesn't score or assist in attacking midfield.
He does score. He does score and assist. To be honest, this season.
But hear me out about this. The problem with Arsenal in the next season is the same. If Arsenal go in the next season, the same problem with this season, which is the unknown. Will Odeegard bring back the form that he was in the last season? Will Kai Havertz replicate the second half of the season? Will Mikel Arteta be able to bring Martinelli back to the best form that he had 2 seasons ago? Arsenal next season cannot go with a lot of unknowns. You should go knowing what to expect. It's not a new manager. It's the same manager that has been here for 5.5 years. You need to go next season knowing that Odeegard will hit the ground running, not hoping that he hit the ground running. Because what if you don't get an upgrade on Odeegard and you don't get an attacking midfielder and Odeegard is having the same season as this season? What happens then? Are we going to say excuses? Oh, Odeegard has been having a bad season. What if you don't get a striker that will hit the ground running? That is a problem.
I hear it. But I'm going by the last 3. Out of the last 3 seasons, Odegaard's had off one of them. So the chances of him coming back to form is a high. And the chances of us having the same injury problems that we had this season are unlikely. You never know in football. You never know. But what we need to do is sign some quality in summer. So regardless of that happening, we're not affected. I believe Wanyeri will be good. I think his progression will be good enough to be challenging with Odeegard personally. I do believe we need to sign.
I don't think so.
Yeah, which is fine for you to not agree. But I also think getting backup for Saka is important.
I think Nwaneri is the backup for Saka. Nwaneri is.
I would rather back up for Saka than get leave Nwaneri there. I agree with Kunle.
Personally,
I think Nwaneri can do. I think we need a speedy backup for.
You know what you guys are saying this though. You two are saying this, but let's be honest here. Majority of your fan base can be like, "Oh no, but you can't block Nwaneri's pathway to the first team. Nwaneri's not going to get minutes."
But we're not
which
saying
is
that,
fine.
though.
When they're on the stream, they can discuss that. But the most important thing is what the director of football thinks, isn't it? We're just giving our opinions, Jordz.
Even these other fans, where do they want Nwaneri to play right now?
Can I just mention something about the Odeegard, the Odeegard stuff you said? So you talked about Odeegard having 3 seasons and this season being his off season.
Yeah.
Have you not thought it's actually Arsenal, the way they play now, is the reason why Odegaard's having an off season?
Potentially.
Because now you play Tony Pulis football. Like, you don't play the attacking football.
No, I definitely think the style of football we've been playing this season, has definitely disrupted things. But initially, when he was out of the team, we created a style of football that was stinking. I don't like. This is one of the things that annoyed me about Arteta is like just because a couple of players weren't there, he changed the whole style of football. That's what really frustrated me because regardless of what anyone thinks about Wenger, no matter if you put in a Stephen Hughes or a Luzhny, they're playing the same freaking football. We're always going to play, and that's one thing that. Really, that's why I've said maybe he's not the right man to take us forward, Arteta. That's why I've said that because of certain decisions like this. But as I said, my club are going to keep him, so we got to get behind it and just hope for the best, isn't it?
Is anybody really expecting Arsenal with Mikel Arteta, with the links to Cisco, to challenge next season? Actually, like down to the wire.
Nope.
Genuinely, I want to hear Arsenal fans first.
If it's just Cisco, no. Yeah. If it's just Cisco,
if we don't sign, like there's a certain tier 1 and then there's a certain tier 2 caliber of players. If we don't sign the tier 1, I don't think we win it. If we don't sign at least the tier 2, I don't think we even challenge. Assuming City go and sign the players they need to in the summer. If City have a stinky summer, which they won't have, but let's assume they do, and if somehow Liverpool fail to renew Salah and Van Dijk, both, not one of them, then we can challenge this by default because the other 2 have not done their jobs. But I don't think it'll be enough for us to win the league still.
For me, we need to do like Zubimendi, Kimmich, Nico Williams, Osimhen, and Sane on a free for me to talk about challenging it, something like that.
Bro, but you were saying you were
Bro, that's not even a top transfer window, bro.
That's a great.
Yeah, window. I think a top transfer window for us is someone like
Jordz. If you make
Rodrigo,
that transfer window, they will win the league, Jordz.
What do you mean? Sane's at 29 years of age, nowhere near the player that he was at Man. He's not even guaranteed starter at Bayern. They don't want to sign him on a new contract.
You tell me, get Osimhen, Sane, Nico Williams, Zubimendi, and Kimmich.
He said Osimhen, Sane.
No, he said Nico Williams.
He said exactly what I said, bro. Bro, I said what I said.
I heard him.
When we said earlier that with Isak you wouldn't win the league, and you got all offended. Why is it now you're
Say that
giving
again,
us
say
a
that
shopping list of 7 or so?
What did you say? What did you
as
say?
we
Say
need?
that again.
Well, when you know what I'm saying, when we said, "Oh, I don't think you win it even with Isak next season," you're not one
Yeah.
thing away. You seem to agree because you're just giving us a shopping list of
Wolfie, good
5.
question. Wait, are you 5 signings?
Well, I never
away
said
from
we're
the
only
league?
going to
Is
sign
that where you're
Isak.
at?
That's
in
what
the
I'm
summer.
saying.
need,
Yeah,
like-
I'm confused now,
Yeah,
Jordz.
don't be confused
Uh,
because we were talking about we never once mentioned only Isak. We talked about Isak coming to Arsenal.
No,
never
we
said
were
only Isak.
because that question
Okay.
got posed. So you
Well, okay,
saying
who asked the
would you
question?
do that whole signing
Mo-
that you just said there? That gets you to challenge. You're not even
To
saying you win the league
I
with
said
that.
win the league. I said win the
You
league.
think you win the league with those 4 or 5
Yeah.
signings you just mentioned? Yeah.
Yeah.
Liverpool will digress. Man City won't be back.
This is
doesn't
what
matter, yeah?
I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm saying. I don't care about all that. I don't make signings thinking that guy's going to digress and that guy's going to digress. If we sign those players, we win the league.
So just to clarify, Kunle.
Well, if
just to
we
clarify.
digress, then you'll
Wait.
win the league anyway. Because
No,
Great,
because
great.
I think
You're
City
gonna
are
get,
favourites.
That's great if you
86
digress, but I'm not
86
basing
points,
my
aren't you?
team
So-
based on if someone digresses. I want to base my team, whether the team digress or not, we can still beat them. That's how I want my team to be built, personally.
A question. Oh,
Go for it.
You finished?
It's okay. It's okay.
What happened?
All right, yeah.
The two
yeah,
anti-Arsenal fans went away. Okay.
He needed to ask advice for a
Mm.
question.
I need to get some advice on this one, yeah. Really quickly. So, can I just clarify that you
list the players. Should I list them again? Because you
No. I'm not asking for the players in particular.
Okay.
I just want to clarify that
I want to hear the
Arsenal
argument
are
first.
5 players away from winning the league. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm
Because
saying
you
at
just
the end of
named
this.
five
Okay. You asked me a question. I'm now answering your question.
I'm going to build on the question and give you my reasoning why I'm asking it that way. So you know my reasoning, because you're going to clarify and say I didn't say.
I don't know your reasoning. I'm really
no.
intrigued. I want to know his reasons. I'm really intrigued.
Because you just named, for one, Zubomendi, Nico Williams. You named Kimmich. You said Sane, and who was the other one? I missed the name.
Osimhen.
That's it. So 3 out of 5 of those players are probably considered to be world class, or if not on the verge of world class. You know. So if you need to sign 3 world class players to your already 5 or 6 world class players that you have, because Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, we've already heard it all about these players. So that must mean that you're 5 signings away from winning the league. Because why do you need 3 world class players to push you that far? Or is your team just not good? Like, please clarify.
Who are the other world class players?
Please, can no one? I don't know all the extra fluff that you threw in there. But what I will say is the reason I said 5.
Hold on. This is very important. Before you actually go, Kunle.
5.
Hold on, before you go, Kunle. I'm sorry. You really believe? Sorry, Kunle. Sorry, I'm gonna let you answer this. You really believe that Arsenal have 6 or 5 world-class players, Jordz?
No, they haven't.
We went through this before. I said that whether my belief is or not, but
no,
Arsenal believe. All right, let me just throw the names out there.
No, because I never said, like, I never seen Arsenal say that.
Class, but arguably, you could say and Raya, you could say a Saliba.
I don't think we have any world-class players.
Let him
name.
Because
so Raya, Saliba.
This is what a lot of people think. They say Saliba and Gabriel are the 2 best centre backs in the Premier League, so must make them world class.
No, they're not.
Or on the verge. And then you've got Raya, who's arguably again one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I've heard this season. Got Declan Rice. Last season, everyone said he was world class.
Yeah, Declan Rice.
Odeegard and Saka. That's fair.
Okay. Yeah, actually, fair. Okay, I hear his point. Yes,
the first 3 are not, but the other 3 are fair.
No, but I hear his point. Like I hear what he means. He means they can win the title.
So now basically saying you need.
Can I answer? How many layers of this question is there? There's been like 8 layers to this one question. Let's go back. Let's try and find our way all the way back. Yeah. So a lot to unravel there. So. The reason why I mentioned 5 players is because it was on the back of what Ashraf said in terms of the players that we're going to lose in the summer, potentially the Partey, Jorginho, Zinchenko, and a couple of other players as well. So we're gonna be short. We already needed a striker and a winger, which everyone, since we're using the fans have said that we've needed a striker and a winger. So that's 2 already. Those are 4 players I just listed that we're potentially going to lose. So I'm replacing those players, Jordz. So That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying we're 5 players away. If we lose players, we're gonna have
No,
to
but you
replace
didn't really
them.
answer my question.
But
though.
if
This
we lose
guy's
players,
not right.
okay, what was your question? You asked me. Arsenal 5 players away from.
So basically,
Right now, we're
Arsenal
not
need
5 players
11
away.
world-class players
But-
to win the
No,
league.
hold on. Right now,
No
we're
one
not
ever
5
said
players
that,
away.
Mac. No one ever said that,
Exactly.
Mac.
Right now, we're not 5 players away, but if we lose players in the summer, we could be 5 players away. That's why.
So let's phrase it this way so they'll understand and they'll get on our
Yeah, go on.
wavelength.
Let's try.
If we don't lose a single player this summer, we just need a world-class striker and a world-class left winger. That's it. And a cover for Saka.
And
I
when you
think that
say
we're good
lose,
enough
what
there.
players do you potentially plan on losing in your argument? Sorry, just so I can.
Partey is apparently leaving.
No,
Coutinho is
Ashraf, don't
leaving.
repeat yourself. We've said it 3 times now.
Yeah, we've
Already,
literally-
George. Let me tell you, George.
Literally said it 3 times.
Partey, Jorginho, Martinelli, 3 players, basically.
And
Zinchenko.
Zinchenko.
But Zinchenko, we don't need to replace.
Zinchenko. Okay, sorry.
We don't need to
Zinchenko,
replace.
Tomiyasu.
3 of those players don't even play, and if they do, they're shit.
Partey and Jorginho play. What do you mean? Partey is a
I said 3
starter.
of them. I said 3 of them. I never said
Zinchenko played our last 2 games.
Coutinho, Zinchenko, Martinelli are all shit and easily replaceable.
No.
So why do you
Stop.
want
Don't do revisionism. Martinelli,
No,
when he's
no,
fit,
but
whether we
whether
like
they're
it or
shit
not,
or
You
not,
do
Wait.
revisionism. I've always
George,
maintained
whether
my
they're
George,
shit-
you're doing-
Wait, George,
George,
whether
hold
they're
on,
shit
hold
or
on, this
not
is
is
re-
irrelevant when they
Okay,
need
George,
to be replaced.
I want to actually I want to actually hear it now from
understand.
George. I'm gonna throw the question back to you. What do you think Arsenal need to win the league, George?
outside the manager.
I think they need
Forget the
experience.
manager. Let's forget the manager.
I think they need experienced players who have actually been there, done it, and actually won something.
Very
Arsenal's
vague.
biggest
Can you be
problem-
specific?
we have that.
Arsenal's biggest
already have
problem. It's funny,
He's gonna-
Mo. We've streamed for years now, so you know, and Kunle too. What's the
Answer
biggest
the
thing I've always said
question.
is Arsenal's problem?
Just answer the
What have I
Hey,
always?
I agree. So give me exactly,
No, but
George.
what have I always said is Arsenal's problem?
George, okay, can I answer it and you agree with me
Kunle
or not?
knows because I've
Okay,
said
can I-
him. They
okay, I
they
can-
crumble under the pressure. They
Okay, so
crumble.
Let me
it's not-
answer
it's
it.
not-
Let
it's
me
not a player
answer
thing
it.
then.
Let me answer it. I believe that if Arsenal sign an experienced striker, aka Isak, Gyökeres, Osimhen, if they sign a good left winger, for example, I believe a Semenyo, maybe a Nico Williams, someone from that ilk. I don't know who, Adam Alolokman, someone from that ilk, and they sign an attacking midfielder. I'm gonna say a name that has come to my mind now. Maybe someone else, Averts, someone like this. It doesn't have to be Hurts. That can be replaced with signing Zubamendi and maybe having a midfield of Zubamendi, Odeegard. I don't like it. And Rice, I don't like that. But if they sign an experienced striker and a left winger, Arsenal should be next season in competition to win the Premier League. Is that fair to say, George?
Yeah, because at that point they've nearly got 9 world-class players. I think any team with nearly 9 world-class
Thank you
players
so
should win the
much.
league. But again,
Glad you rate our players so highly, George.
I don't. I'm going off of
He
Arsenal.
does.
Nine world-class players
You
from.
rate
I
them because
don't-
you're
You
going
just
off.
said
have
9
you
world
rate-
class.
you
So
said
I
9
so
world-class
that's what you
players.
need. That's us because, bro, Arsenal fans believe all these players are world class.
George,
you
forget
believe
what
it.
Arsenal fans
Forget
believe.
what
How
our
many
fans
world
believe.
class
What do you
players?
believe?
How
And
many
we
world
have-
class players do you think we have? Don't tell me what Arsenal players are saying.
2.
In your opinion,
Two.
in George's opinion,
Actually, no. I'd say because again, this is
2.
where you say revisionism and so on. Because there's been a lot of revisionism on Declan Rice, but I feel like a lot of that has been due to again the way you guys have been playing. I'm a big
Rice
fan of
and who
Declan
else?
Rice. Big
Rice
fan.
and who
I
else?
think
World
Declan
class.
Rice, say Gabriel and Saliba. They could be argued. I think Saliba's better than Gabriel for me. But
what about
you know,
Saka?
Gabriel's
What about
world-class.
Saka? What about
Saka's-
Gabriel and Saka, world class.
Saka is no okay. Is he at least near
You
world
could,
class?
I would throw Saka in there, you know, for the sake of it. Like,
Reluctantly.
Okay, so that's 4. So you think we have 4 world class or near world class? And if we add Zubamendi and Isak and a left
my
winger,
point is though, Ashraf, is I've always said the issue is not the quality. The issue is the mentality. Just like Mo said, I don't even think signing Isak's going to be good enough. I think you need
But
players that
again,
have won.
that's
you need players that
BS
have been there and
because-
done it. That you
guys,
need
let me show you
players-
the
And
the
you're- no, Ashraf, we've
contradiction.
had this argument before because you said to me last time, you don't know until they've won it. And when they win it, that's when they're going to be winners.
Yes,
Bro,
and I debunked your argument there. But my point is,
3-4 years since I've been
okay,
streaming.
here's what I'll do. I'll just go by.
So,
I'll go by what you just said in this show. You said they need players who have done it before. Jorginho and Kai Havertz won a Champions League. Rice
you
won a
signed
European
them
Cup that they were.
finished.
Rice won a European Cup before joining us. The people were saying at least he has European heritage. So we have players who have won something, who have come into our team.
You're
So what is
shaming.
your logic? I
You're
don't
shaming.
understand.
You're
What is?
shameless.
I don't understand your.
You
How
are,
is
you
that shameless?
shameless.
These two were starters
Again,
when they won the
Declan
Champions League. They
Rice-
weren't backup players.
Declan Rice winning a Europa Conference League, a fucking Conference League, my bro, is nowhere near.
I beg you don't talk down to any trophies, Jordz. I
No,
beg
no, no,
you
no,
don't
no,
talk
no, no,
down
no.
to a single
Winning a
trophy as a Tottenham
Conference
fan.
League-
Don't you get?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what's
Talk down to
interesting.
any
You
trophy.
know, you're talking.
Let Mack,
you know,
let
you're
Mack
talking
go.
about-
Let Mack go.
You know, you're talking about world-class players, yeah? Have Nottingham Forest got any world-class players?
Yep.
No,
Because
none.
they're in third place. They've been in second place this season. They
Define
got a very
world
good
class.
chance of getting into the Champions League. Have they got
Wait,
world-class
what is?
players?
How's that?
What-
How's
what-
that
what-
relevant to our argument?
It's not.
We're talking
it
about
doesn't
winning the
matter
league.
whether you've got world-class players. You need to have a manager that can make your team work.
Name one team that won a league without having world-class players, except Leicester City. Name one team. that won
They
a
had
league.
world-class players. They had world-class players.
Yeah, because the reason I
Mahrez and
okay,
Sancho.
They have
okay, I'll
world-class
clarify
players.
before people go crazy. I'm not disrespecting Leicester. I'm saying except Leicester City because that was a 5,001 chance of a team winning a league. I don't think a big team should go banking on those chances. So name a big team that won a league without having world-class players in their team. People saying
Leverkusen.
Chelsea in 2017, which is absolute BS, because they
Leverkusen.
had Diego. Once again, I'll come to Leverkusen. They had Diego. By the way, I'm specifically talking about the Premier League, but I'll come to Leverkusen. That's a good point. Chelsea, when they won in 2017, they had Fabregas, who was world class. Conte had come off a team that just won the league, where he was one of the best players. I know he didn't win it. Mahrez won it, but he was one of the best players. He was one of the best DMs at the time. Hazard, one of the best players in the world, or at least in the league, world class at the time.
Ashraf, you don't need to go through
Costa-
it. We're with you. We're with you.
We don't need to go.
Yeah,
through
it's
all the players.
ridiculous for people to be like, oh, Chelsea didn't have world class players. It's mad. That's absolute mad, in my
Let
opinion.
me do.
Lever-
Can I do this super chest before we go? Have you
Yeah,
done?
Go ahead. No,
Let
go
me
ahead.
do
go
this.
ahead.
5 years of failure and you want 2 more? None here want 2 more. They just accepted
never
reality. They just accepted reality. Salam Habibis and Ramadan Mubarak to Mo and Ashraf and everyone, of course. Everyone that is celebrating Ramadan.
Mubarak, guys.
Of course,
Ramadan
Wolfie is
Mubarak.
celebrating Ramadan. He's literally breaking his fast on the stream. He's literally breaking his fast on the
Nobody
stream.
beer, man, goes down
See,
good at this.
Diallo, you're literally disrespecting Wolfie. If Arsenal don't sign a top striker, for example, Isak, Eucharist, Osimhen, I still don't see them winning a title. The sporting director has a big job. He doesn't have a big job. He just needs to sign a striker and the left winger. It's not that big of a job, with all due respect to everyone.
No, he has to sign the striker more. He cannot just sign Joao Pedro, for example, because then anyone can go do that.
How about you get Joao Pedro and Kunle together? I think it'll be great for you.
If we cannot get the main guys, I wouldn't be super mad. I would be like, it's not good enough. We're not winning the
Don't be
league,
mad.
but
We're
it's
not
at
winning the
least
league
more
with those.
exciting.
You can
Yeah,
get
but at least
Solanke,
it's like
though.
them.
It's
They're
time to
gonna
get-
make you look good again. You know, bring.
Don't say that name around me,
Arsenal.
Mo, please.
You'll probably get the guy
Please.
from Leipzig, Cesc. You'll probably
Nigerian
get him.
national team didn't even want Sri Lanka. I beg.
Sesko.
Cesco.
Yeah.
You'll probably get him.
Now,
They're going to get Sesko. I promise you guys now. It's now. They're
probably
going to
get
get
Sesko.
Sesko.
Now we're getting Moise Keane, guys. Prepare yourselves. We're getting Moise
Kunle,
Keane.
now you're being disingenuous. You know that you're going to get Sesko, right? You know that, right? You know most likely. I'll be very
apparently half
surprised
the
if you
Premier
don't
League's
get
Yes, that's
That's not guaranteed.
like you know Kunle, that your manager likes Sesko. He wanted to wait for Sesko. He waited
I
for
know, but
Sesko.
hopefully the director. of
Hopefully
football comes
someone
in.
comes to.
The
Hopefully
director
someone
of football comes in and
Yes,
has his
yes,
own.
yes.
I hope
agenda.
Chelsea.
Not
I hope
good.
Chelsea make that sign. We need
Let's
Chelsea
see,
to make
let's
that
see.
signing.
Hopefully,
Kunle, is he in now?
the sporting director slap him on the and said,
Yeah,
"Wake
one
up."
time. Shut your
Sesko's
mouth.
done.
Yeah.
They want heavily linked to actually buy 5 players. Arsenal are always.
Oh
No,
yeah,
but
Jonathan
Liverpool-
David on a free. That seems like an Arsenal.
Liverpool are the big heavily linked. Heavily linked are Liverpool.
We're linked with
Uh,
everyone. It's doing my head in.
Liverpool are the heavily linked. Notice how everything besides Arteta is a problem.
Jack, you're not listening. Mo literally started the
Literally,
stream by saying
thanks for the
there's
super
no
chat.
point talking about Arteta.
Right, literally,
We've
not listen
literally
to a thing.
we've got sore
Hey,
throats
Ash,
from
don't.
chatting about him all the
Don't.
time.
Big up,
Sky,
big
thank
up,
you
Jack,
for-
man.
Thank you
Thanks
for the
for
super
£2,
chat
man.
again. You clearly don't listen, but thank you for the super chat.
Jack, there is no point of talking about Arteta out because he's gonna stay.
He's
They're not
staying.
changing
It's like-
Arteta.
it's literally-
We don't want him to be out, Jack.
A striker, a winger, a new number 10, and a new manager. There is no new manager. Again, HG. Stop this, bro. There is no new manager coming into Arsenal. They
Anthony
aren't signing
Pepe.
a new manager.
Yeah, but Mo, there
The
has to
sooner
be a
the fan
scenario
base
where
is
he
at
can
peace,
go. There has to
sooner
be.
the fan base is at
Okay.
peace with this
Give
Arteta
me,
thing,
Wolfie,
the
give me the
more we can
scenario that
move
he
forward.
goes.
They drop out the
Wolfie,
top 4. They drop out
If
the
we
top
drop
4.
out the top
you
4, for
keep
sure,
insisting on this,
no,
and
for
I
sure.
don't think it's
That's not
plausible.
gonna
No, he's right. If we do drop out the
I'm
top
giving you
4,
a
which
scenario.
we're definitely not going to do, then he goes.
Okay, Kunle, let me ask you this. Would you
And
take...
if we win the league, he gets a 10-year contract. So we're
Yeah,
doing
okay,
the
but let me say that.
I'll call my first son Mikel if he wins the league from here, bro. What are you talking about?
Kunle, would you take that seriously? This is a genuine question. Right? Would you take finishing outside
I'll call
of the
my daughter
Champions
Arteta.
League,
Obi, yeah.
Wait,
knowing that
it's a very
Arteta
good
would go?
question.
Nah. I never want my team to finish badly.
Yeah, okay, but
My
let me
team
follow
don't
that
do
up by
anything.
saying,
I
do
don't
you
want
think
my
he can
team
win
to-
the Champions League next year? Do you think he can win the Champions League next year?
Next year?
Mm.
I don't know. Depends on our transfer window.
As things are, and as
No,
you
but
feel
things
they're
are not going to
progressing.
be like this next year.
Depends
Wolfie,
if they
so I can't
sign
answer that
5
question.
world-class players.
If we sign,
yeah,
depends
which
what our
we
summer
know
looks
now.
like. Depends what our summer looks like. Innit?
Mack is a great comment, but yes.
Yeah. It
Stop
depends
it. It
what our
says
summer-
big up the panel, big up more Ramadan Mubarak, big up to all the Saudi people, of course, all the way from Saudi Arabia. Big up my man, big up my man. My mom's come from Saudi Arabia on Thursday.
Big up.
He's doing Umrah.
Big up, man.
Arsenal's problem is not mentality. This is a lazy argument. It's their lack of quality in attack. Simple. They must sign 2 starting attackers.
Yeah.
It is so strange that people still don't understand that Arsenal have a mentality block. Ash, me and you spoke about this, and you
Like,
believe
the
it.
last two
Yeah, I agree, but
Ash,
the last
you
2
literally said
seasons-
yes, but we know that the mentality.
No,
of
but I'm
Arsenal has
saying
a
that
Now, the last 2 seasons have been mentality. This season's been our squad depth. Personally, the last 2 seasons, I think it's mentality.
But Kunle, can I just say
I don't think
the
last
reason
season
why-
was mentality.
Nah,
The
the
season
last
before
2
that,
seasons for
the
me,
re-
bro.
the- but the reason why I would point to it being mentality, especially in these last couple of years,
season?
you could say under all of our
Not this season. I think more the last 2.
No,
And
this season
you can
as well.
say it's not this season because the injuries make an excuse for the fact that the mentality wasn't right. But at the same time, again, he's making a point. It's a fair point. Your attack hasn't been good enough. But when you had your best attack and they were flying, even then you would have won another trophy. Like the mentality is the issue because you've not won a trophy, not because you haven't won the league. You can win an FA Cup and a Carling Cup in that time. You guys haven't been in the knockout stage of these competitions. You don't take it serious enough. It's like they feel like they're better than it. That's a mentality problem.
Why
Yeah,
does your
Jordz,
energy
I would
charge
say
up when
that
you're
this
talking
year as
negative?
well.
Why does your energy
This year as
just
well is a
charge up?
mentality
I don't like
issue.
I hate Arsenal. I love
Don't
hating
like it.
Arsenal.
Yeah, but Jordz, would you agree this year they've had a mentality
your
issue?
comments
When
are
you break it
biased.
down, every time Liverpool drop points, or 8 out of the 10 times say they drop points, Arsenal went and dropped points. That's a mentality issue. So you can't ignore this year.
I hear it.
We dropped. We've had 6 draws. Arsenal have had, was it 8?
9.
9.
Yeah, but Wolfie as well. In some of those matches, man, like if we had a better squad, we wouldn't even draw those games.
But if
But
you
I
put
hear you.
mentality,
I do
you
hear
know
what
you
you're
have-
saying in one
yeah.
extent, but yeah,
Do you not
I
sense
hear it.
complacency in your team a lot of times? Like
But
when
you
you're seeing them
haven't-
play, you're like, "Where's the urgency? Where's like someone not?" I say this about my team, by the way. I say it all the time. Like especially in those Liverpool Aston Villa, you look at the team, you're like, "Oh, what? Why is no one stepping up? Why is no one grabbing the ball 30 yards, running with it, taking a shot? Why is no one making it their game? You know, taking the mantle to be
They
like,
got no
But
leaders,
it's
bro.
You know what?
managerial. Because
You
You know what? I've
managerial
got to say
instructions,
something.
that's why.
I've got to say something about that, okay? And it really grinds my gears. So you're all sat there as Arsenal fans complaining about attackers and injuries and all of this crap, yeah? But you haven't really been beaten in games. You haven't really been beaten properly in games. You haven't been like 2-0 down or under the cosh in any of your games because you've got probably one of the best defenses in the league. But when your manager's taken off his forwards and he's bringing on defenders in the last 20 minutes of games, that's not mentality. That's just your manager just wanting to get a point or just not risking losing a game. And unfortunately, that's the reason why you are where you are right now. It's the reason why you haven't
I
brought
don't
us up.
fully agree
The
with
reason
that.
why you haven't scored enough goals. It's because your manager hasn't took the risk of maybe losing the game or maybe conceding. But you know what? You might have scored the winner.
I hear it.
Yeah, but they've had
Yeah,
no
Mac,
one
I
to
100%
lean on
agree.
this
Yeah,
squad.
There are
I
there are
100%
again,
agree, and I've
I
said
hear
this
it.
before.
The
When Mo
Arteta-
asked, when Mo asked what are the main reasons we didn't win the league or something like that a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned, yes, I know injuries affected us 100%. They're there in the reasons. But I think the number one and number two reasons, so one of them is obviously not signing proper attackers. But I think the main reason has been Arteta's approach to certain games. I look at games like Everton, like Fulham, like Brighton, like Newcastle. We lost points in these games when we had a lot of our attackers available, right? And yes, some games we didn't have Odeegard. I think one game we didn't have Saka, but the rest of them, like, we had most of our guys, and we dropped points in silly games. If you look at Liverpool this season, outside the United game at Anfield and a shock loss to Forest at the start of the season, I cannot look at them and see. It was a shock at the start of the season, Wolfie. Maybe not later, but at the start of the season, it was a shock to lose at Anfield.
That was a shock.
Outside those two games, I don't look at any game where they drop points and I'm like, oh my God, how the hell did they drop points here? Because the games they drop points in were like, okay, yeah, it makes sense they drop points here. They went one man down against Fulham, were down twice in that game, and they still came back and ended up getting a draw 2-2. Newcastle were lucky to get a draw that game at St. James Park. Villa, same thing. Villa is a very difficult team to beat at Villa Park, and they got a draw 2-2. None of the games where they draw Arsenal at the Emirates. Everton away as well. It's a
Manchester United also. We were ahead in both. We had twice in that game. Manchester United.
But at least United is a bad result because it's at Anfield. I don't think you should have drawn at Anfield, even if it is against United. But the other games, I think, Man U went to to
be honest with you, the difference.
Man U went 1-0 up.
You know what the difference is? It's the approach of the manager. Liverpool, if they go down, or Liverpool go up 1-0, or Liverpool go down a man, or something like this, they keep attacking to try to win the game, not being afraid to lose the game. While about 3 or 4 games a season, Arsenal was so cautious, not trying to lose, instead of trying to risk it and trying to go for the win, for the killer. And that is, I think, one of the problems with Arteta's approach this season. It happened in a lot of games where he still had his 4 defenders on at 0-0, for example. Why you still have 4 defenders on at 0-0 if you're going for the... Like,
you're right, man.
Even if you get Saliba Bournemouth game, if you get Saliba sent off, play 3 at the back. You don't need to take an attacker and put a centre back. It's okay. It's still 0-0 by that time, by the way. You don't need to concede the whole game then at that time. You are still Arsenal, one of the teams that should win the league. You should go for it, even if you risk losing a point. That is how it should be. If you get beaten, you get beaten. But at the end, you gave it your best. And at the end, by the way, he still got beaten. Like, he still didn't get a point.
I'm with you. Like, for me, that's why I'm on no streams, and Jordz, I hope you can agree, I've not been on any stream complaining about injuries, because for me, even with injuries, Arteta should have got it done, man. Like the injury thing is not an excuse for me. I've seen my managers get it done with loads of injuries. I've seen us win the league where Christopher Ray and Nicolas Anelka are unknown when we're strikers. So injuries ain't an excuse, and Arteta is to blame. Like, in terms of even the City game at Etihad, we should have seen that out. The Liverpool game, we should have seen that out. The Chelsea game, 1-0 up. There's so many games that we should have seen out from winning positions. That's why I just can't accept the injury excuse. Yes, some of his decisions has led to us having a depleted squad. So if we look back,
and the red cards as well, and the red cards.
The red cards are the red cards. I mean,
you dropped all your points.
We've always had, even in the last few title-winning seasons, we've had bad disciplinary anyway, so that ain't even an excuse. But just like Mo said, when we got the red cards, we didn't have any balls to try and get a proper result out.
10 points.
But Kunle, you can't then have your manager come out and say the stupid statements he was saying 2 weeks ago about if any other team had these red cards and injuries, it would be mid-table, over my dead body, and all this.
And Wolfie, that's one of the reasons why I think it's interviews like that that's made me even think more so that maybe we need to give someone else a go. Like, because like, why are you even saying that? Why are you bringing that sort of attention to yourself unnecessarily when you could like just own it? Like we tried, we didn't do well enough, innit? Keep it pushing.
The only thing I will say to that, Kunle, is I that's the one, whatever he says in the press conference is the one thing I don't blame him for, because every single big manager has had howlers in press conferences. Klopp once blamed the rain and stuff. Like, Pep has said some crazy things outside him harming himself.
Most of those managers have credit in the bank by the time they do that.
I agree. But I think some of these managers try to take off the pressure of their team So they end up saying things just to make sure that everything is.
But he added pressure, Ashraf, by what he said.
I don't think so. Not on the players.
He made a boo-boo there.
Wolfie, think about it from the player's perspective. If the talk is more and more about Arteta and the press conference, there's less people bring up Odegaard's stinky performances, less people highlighting Rice's underwhelming season. That takes off some pressure of the team. Mourinho used to do this all the time.
He needs it. He needs to feel it.
I agree.
The captain needs to feel the pressure, man.
Odegaard needs to be stripped of captaincy. That's what I'm saying. Like a coach makes the players work. Don't tell me stop that. If you have a better captain, your team mentality will be better.
Who's our better captain? Who's our better captain? Name him.
I don't know.
Gabriel.
Yeah, it's the flavor of the month. It's literally the flavor of the month. A couple of years ago, they were telling us Kieran Tierney is the best captain. 2 years ago or last year, they were telling us Declan Rice, he should be our captain.
Are you really?
Look,
if Gabriel comes this season, they'll say, oh, Gabriel is...
Hold on now.
Wallahi.
No, hold on. Before you take it, Wallah al-Azim, if we sit on this panel today and we all agree that Odegaard cannot be captain and we can't find another captain at Arsenal that is worthy of having the armband of Arsenal Football Club, hold on, because this is a statement. Your manager have failed miserably in signing players that are leaders on the pitch, because that is part of his job and the recruitment job, to sign leaders that would lead the team when the team is down. If you can't
it's a silly point, Omo, because it's just clear to see they've got leaders on the pitch, and Gabriel's definitely a leader, and anyone that thinks otherwise.
But Ashraf doesn't agree.
Why is he a leader?
But Ashraf doesn't agree, Jordz.
Why is he a leader?
No, because again, when I watch Arsenal, the one player that I see constantly communicating to the bro, if you want me
he's
to
never injured.
Let me answer, bro.
He's never injured.
The one thing, he's always available.
One of the best defenses in the league. He's world class.
You look at across the last 2 years, Gabriel's probably been the most consistent player, as in 2 years, he's actually maintained a very good performance for Arsenal. You look at the improvement, I feel like he's a player that's been there for time and he's actually steadily improved. He's actually got better. So he's been there from the start of Arteta. And also, when you actually look at a player on the pitch who leads, talking to players constantly, like actually, getting in their head. When Saliba's got his head down for he's grabbing his shirt, bro, that's Gabriel, bro. I think
Odegaard does that as well.
But Jordz,
he's never grabbed nobody's shirt. Don't lie. He's not
grabbed anybody's shirt. Guys. Okay. Let me land my point.
Gabriel might. Odegaard's gonna fix someone's hair, bro. Allow it.
Let me land my point. Then you guys.
Is Odegaard a captain for his country?
He is captain for his country. Correct. Yes. Yes. For the last 2 seasons, we have been doing really well. And Odegaard has been leading on the pitch. He leads not just by yelling at people like Gabriel does. He leads by leading the press. I have seen him talk to players and give instructions. I have seen him in a City game when we lost in the FA Cup and he was pressing. He turned at the place and started yelling at them to press back. I get we're having a bad season, guys, but don't do knee-jerk reactions. These are the same people who said Kieran Tierney, because he wears short sleeves in the winter, right? And he plays with like balls and everyone is cold and shivering, but he plays with short sleeves. He must be captain. The same people who came last season and said, because Declan Rice was asked in the the first team meeting, Arteta said, Declan Rice, do you want to say a speech? Yeah, I'll say a few words, guys. I can't wait to play together, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, oh, captain material, he gave a speech. Let's calm the hell down, because this thing keeps changing week by week. Kunle will remember this. 2008, people were saying Flamini should be captain, because Flamini was sitting yelling at players, slapping everyone and fighting when he was shit.
Ashraf, you're missing the point.
I want Kunle.
I'm going to land on this.
Kunle.
I'm just going to finish on this. Yes, Odegaard is having a bad season. I agree. If you guys can criticize him for this season, but the last 2 seasons, he was captaining us really, really well. So shouldn't that have some credit for him? Instead of saying one bad season, it's over.
Leaders.
Can I just ask you a question? Yeah. Odegaard's playing as an attacking midfielder, yeah? Gabriel's playing as a central defender. Who do you pick as a captain for Liverpool? Virgil van Dijk or Dominic Szoboszlai? They're both captains for their countries.
That's such a false equivalency. You don't pick Van Dijk because of his position. You pick him because of his quality, how long he's been there for, what he's done, the quality he plays.
That's why you pick Gabriel.
Odegaard has been that for us.
That's why you pick Gabriel.
Okay, cool. Okay, let me land.
Kunle land, because I need to move on. I need to move on from this.
I get
the guy who people called the Bosu 2 years ago.
Hold on. I get Ash's issues with the chopping and changing and all these different things. I get it. I get where he's coming from on that side. But what I will say, if you do remember, don't interrupt me, Ashraf. I let you land for time, innit? What I will say is, in that first title running, everyone could see the influence that Xhaka and Zinchenko had on that squad in terms of the leadership, to the point where people were annoyed with how involved Zinchenko was. So I believe that massively took a lot of pressure off him that first season as a captain. The second season, he did his thing, but his goal return wasn't as prolific as it was the season where Xhaka was there, though, was it? That's another thing. So what maybe this season has happened is, maybe because Rice hasn't had as great a season as he had last season, Odeegard has been kind of on his own, finding form back again, and maybe, just maybe, Ash, the captain of Arsenal may weigh a little bit too much on the guy. That might be it coming to terms.
But Kunle, it didn't last season when we were challenging for the league.
Hold on. Like it might be weighing on him now, because he's been the captain that's not been able to see us through the last 2 years as well. Maybe that's weighed on him. Maybe he doesn't believe. I don't know. Maybe. But these questions are relevant to be asked with how bad his form is now. How bad his decision making is now. I'm hearing people saying that Odeegard doesn't have the killer pass in him. Like, what are you talking about? He does, but for some reason this year he's not been using it enough, and he's doing his Hollywood passes when he should be doing simple passes. So that's his something's off. Something's off. Maybe it's the weight of the captaincy. Maybe it might not be. But
so last question, and then we can move on. Last question, Kunle. If Gabriel gets the captaincy next season and he has a bad season, should he be stripped off it?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Okay, so we keep topping and changing captain. No, that's not how it works.
No, but if you can't handle the
most
weight
successful teams have never done that.
If you can't handle the weight of the responsibility, you're dropped. That most teams don't change captains because there's something in terms of leadership that keeps in them. Like something is kept that, and we're not seeing that.
Maybe Odeegard is leading behind the pitch.
I'm not saying change captain every season. That's not what we're doing here, Ash. And you're being extreme. What I'm saying is, if someone's showing that maybe this is too much for him, because he's not the guy.
That is exactly what we have done.
He's not the guy that. We've had the same captain for the last 3 years.
Aubameyang, Granit
We've had the same captain for the last 3 years. Yes or no? Have we had the same captain for the last 3 years? So what are we talking about?
And before him, we switched captaincy 3 times.
Okay, we're not talking about before him, because we're in the current time. We've given him 3 years as our captain. 2 of those years he's been heavily helped, and now maybe it's too much for him. I'm not saying definitely strip him, but it's a fair enough question to ask. Is the weight of captaincy?
I know Ashraf is scared for his feeling. That is what is going on. His feelings.
I think you guys have knee-jerk reactions, because I've heard this tape before with other players. What you guys do is you guys like to flip-flop, because I guarantee you, if Gabriel gets captaincy next season, right? Well, he won't anyways, but let's say he does, and he has a bad season, people are going to be like, he should have never been given
Gabriel
captaincy.
to have a bad
Why
season.
would Gabriel?
I reject that in Jesus'
No,
name.
I don't. I definitely don't. I think he's fantastic. But you guys will flip-flop, and Mo will come on the stream next day saying, but should he have been given captaincy? Like, he was amazing before the captaincy.
Listen.
Knee-jerk reactions, honestly.
I need the coach makes the players world class. Alisson is the only Liverpool player club did not make world class coaches over world class players. Yeah, but Jurgen Klopp has made a lot of like the Dortmund players as well, like the Lewandowskis and the Reyes and all these guys. So yeah, there's a difference.
Alisson wasn't world class before he came to Liverpool.
Alisson, but he was very good. He had a lot of potential.
He wasn't world class. He wasn't even Brazil's number one goalkeeper.
We're not going to go into
before
this.
He came to Liverpool.
He was nominated for the best goalkeeper, the top 3.
Yes,
he wasn't even
when they reached the Champions League
final. It's a different stream.
Guys, I think Mo just wants to read out the super chats and not get a response. I do think that.
No, because I think the super chat.
Free. Thank you.
Let me
Mo,
tell you.
Continue. Don't explain yourself. Continue.
I actually have to say that Arteta made a lot of players better. Who developed Ben White? Who developed Saliba? Who gave David Raya, Gabriel, Odeegard, who deemed a flop at Real Madrid. Bukayo Saka, he developed him. Declan Rice became last season. He was the second best player in the league. That's factual, behind Foden. That's not me. That is the votes. So he developed all of these guys. So Mikel Arteta developed a lot of players that people think they are good to win the league now. So where do we go from here then? So yes, Jurgen Klopp developed a lot of players, but so did Arteta. If you want to
The
go
players
there,
you
I can
mentioned
do-
that he developed were not brought in for those roles.
I don't even
which
do it.
shows you
Wolfie,
that the
we know what.
recruitment
We
was
know
wrong.
what. We know what.
Guys,
what-
we're waiting for Nuno versus Ange, please. I'm dying
I've
for that.
literally got a couple more minutes, but I'm gonna stay for.
Arne Slot to refs at Everton. If we don't win the league, I will fucking blame you. Jordz, what mentality is this? In the end, winner tells the story.
Amazing
Jordz.
stuff.
No, I responded to y'all in the chat. It's cool. I saw it when it happened.
What do you mean to
Guy,
respond?
absolutely love that.
Yeah, and you're like,
Absolutely love
at
it.
least the guy like just.
He
can you
also
just
he also
respond now?
called the assistant.
what
Where is your
response?
where is
an
your
ethnic
response? I
disgrace.
can put it on the screen then.
No, I mean,
I-
what
if
mentality
I
does
can
he
find
mean?
it.
Like, they're 13 points clear. Like, what do you mean? Where's the mentality, bro? The mentality could then put them 13 points clear. Let's just stop the foolishness.
Okay. Arteta is chronically risk averse. Yeah, that you said that
Yeah.
many times. I'll appreciate you so much.
Yep.
It is just a piece of cloth, guys. Allow it. It's childish. It is not. There is a reason why clubs change the captains, by the way, from a player to a player. They strip people from captaincy, actually, and they give it to another player.
Much
It is
more
not just a piece of cloth.
Especially outside of the football pitch, there's so much more that goes on that the captain has control of. Like, watch football.
So how do you know Odeegard doesn't do things outside the pitch? Since you just mentioned,
I never
He does.
said-
He's taking
Yeah.
pictures, isn't he?
never said
No,
he
he does that
didn't.
on the pitch. Actually, he
Ah.
does that on the
Ah.
pitch. So outside the pitch, maybe George's point is valid. Outside the pitch, there's a lot of things captains do.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
just.
We don't
rebutting
see.
his
No, I
point.
agree
don't
with
know
him.
what Odegaard does.
Anyway, okay, cool. You guys want to do the Ange and then Nuno thing?
I'm dying
I'll
for this.
entertain it for a few minutes, but I generally do have to go. But I'll entertain it for a few minutes. Go on, Wolfie. I'm sure Wolfie has been waiting for this.
I don't know. I'm a little off Nuno at the moment, if I'm being honest with you guys. The playing style.
Oh shit!
Is, yeah. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing on the pitch.
The
this last month.
audacity of you, Wolfie. the
Yeah, so
audacity.
Ange wins. Khalas, guys, it's all over. Done.
I mean,
I thought
no.
Wolfie will put up a fight.
No, I'm just laying down the foundations. But you gotta look at a manager who's taken a team that was fighting relegation to put him in a Champions League race now. That's unbelievable. That's not been done since what, Leicester won the league. Anyone's jumped that high up the league table. And this is harder because you're in an established Premier League where there's the top 6 bias and the other 14. And Nuno's come in and he's shaking it. And I actually would chuck in there the likes of Iriola and Marco Silva as well. That last class that came up, Forest, Bournemouth and Fulham, probably one of the best 3 the best 3 promoted classes. Look where they all are now in the league table. And Nuno's leading the line for it. Nuno's had to jump higher than Silva did and Iriola did, because remember, Bournemouth had previously and Fulham had been in the Premier League, Forest working under heavier financial restrictions. Nuno's just gone old school, boys. He's got 1990s, man. Focus on your defense, focus on your spine. The football doesn't have to be pretty, and you can still get results with it. And it's working. And it's working.
Does he deserve
has
manager?
philosophy.
Is he mixed Champions League? Does he deserve manager of the season? Shout.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
What do you mean never? Why never?
No,
See, this
I
is
never
what
said
you're
never. I
doing.
said no.
Okay.
Why?
Slot gets manager of the season.
Because I think if Slot wins when he wins the league, I think Slot has done a fantastic job.
So he's gone from 3rd to 1st. Nuno's gone from
Yeah, but-
17th to 3rd.
No, but you're doing
In his
the number
first
thing. Let's
season,
just
don't do that,
his
man. In
first
first
season, Wolfie. Let's be honest here, man. Even you can acknowledge that your
We're
achievement is
just dissing
greater.
your manager as well.
Your
so calm
achievement
down.
is greater. If you had to say who had a better season, you say Nottingham Forest had a better season. But Arne Slot has
Okay.
done a better job.
No, because
How-
what I would say
actually,
to that is
those two statements are not actually they're
No,
not
to me,
aligned.
no, they had a better season compared to the expectation at the start. Yes, they've improved so much more than what Liverpool have. But at
well,
the
it's
same time,
bigger than that, Jordz. Most people had Forest down this year, relegated.
that's
I
my
did.
point.
Wolfie,
That's my point.
Wolfie. The reason why he should win it is because at this rate, he's possibly 1 game away from the Invincibles, and it's getting beaten by your team.
Exactly.
Like, I don't see Liverpool getting beat by anybody.
Yeah,
this season.
and who's the
Nobody
one manager
in
that
the
beat
Premier
him?
League.
No, but
Nuno.
he beat him in
So
an early.
he could literally
very
go
early
into his first managerial club in the Premier League at Liverpool, win the league by I don't know how many points. Like it could be 10, it could be 15, it could be 20. Who knows how many points by the end of the season? And he could literally be 1 game away from being the Invincibles. And
No,
he doesn't
but
get-
he's not going to
Okay,
be the
hold on.
Invincibles because
Hold
of
on, hold
Nuno.
manager of the
Hold
season.
on. Let me ask a question for everyone on the panel, everyone in
That's
the
a
chat.
madness.
If I ask you in the beginning of the season, Arsenal will have a lot of injuries and red cards and will not be good, and Man City will be shit. Who will win the league? Can anyone answer the question?
That's
Liverpool.
such a weird
Okay,
question.
hold on.
It's irrelevant.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not.
It
weird,
is
but
relevant.
again,
It
a
is
lot of
re-
people-
Because you're not giving us the entire context of how.
Wait.
You've asked
If
the question.
I ask you, give me any scenario where Nuno Espirito Santo in his first season at Nottingham Forest will be in a Champions League spot for the whole season and will be only team that beat the current champions or whatever in the league, you would say you're
That's
deluded.
amazing.
It will never happen.
That's
It will
amazing.
never
But
happen.
your whole argument there, Mo, is the reason they're there is because the others fell off.
No.
So
Ooh.
if Arsenal and
No,
Manchester
no.
City hadn't dropped loads of points, they'd be ahead of Nottingham Forest.
But you could argue
are
the
right,
same
I
thing
can-
about Liverpool, saying if Man City hadn't fallen off, they would have won the league.
No,
Your
but no,
argument
no,
doesn't
no.
work.
Like,
No.
like, none of
No,
the-
no,
I don't
no,
think
but
you got my
Liverpool
Using your
is
logic
winning
there.
this season.
Can I answer your point, Mo? Because I got your point, but again, this is why it's disingenuous. Because you go back to the start of the season, like Wolfie did, and said they was expected to get relegated. Okay, most fans didn't even predict Liverpool to get top 4. They kept saying Liverpool's gonna have a drop off.
That's not true.
No, yes,
I
that is
predicted them
true.
to win the
Majority
league.
of
Not true.
fans.
Everyone
There
expected
was
them
a
to
few.
challenge for the league.
No,
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 George.
they didn't.
No, you
That's
are
not
building
true,
something.
bro.
No, they didn't.
No.
George, I had them down to win the league, George.
People had
No, I-
them.
I had them
maximum
third.
fourth,
I had
third.
them third. Nothing.
I had
Most
them
people had
first.
Arsenal in the league and City second.
No, I had Liverpool to win the league. How'd you like that? I got it. In facts.
I hope you put a
George,
bet on that, mate.
George, no
Send
one
us the
said that
receipts,
Liverpool
yeah.
never.
Yeah.
No one
So
said
So
that
many
Liverpool will finish
people
up.
did. People had Manchester
George,
United and
you do
Chelsea in the
this.
top 4, bro. What
All right,
are we
George,
saying?
let me ask you this, George.
Everybody had
At the start-
Arsenal. And
I had
Manchester
Liverpool
City.
challenging, but I definitely didn't have.
I had
them.
Liverpool winning
Me
the league.
too. I had Liverpool challenging but not winning. I had Man City and Arsenal first and second. But that doesn't
Right.
mean like. I'm
Let me
sorry,
ask this
go, George,
question,
go ahead.
Mark. Let me ask this question. George, at the start of the season, has he gone?
Go ahead. Yeah. Go
Let
ahead.
me ask this question. At the start of the season, if someone said to you, Liverpool will win the league, would you have turned around and said, impossible, can't see it happening, out of the question completely? Or would you have thought, I expect City to win it, but I can understand the theory that Liverpool would win the league? Would that have been a stretch?
I hear
No.
him though.
Most people expected Arsenal to kick on.
Yes,
No,
that's what he's
I
saying.
put Liverpool
But-
down.
They expected
Yeah.
Arsenal to really
Yeah.
challenge him
But
with
the,
Man
the
City.
point what you guys are missing is that what Nuno Espirito Santo did with Nottingham Forest is exceeding the expectations way more than what Arne Slot has done with
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
That is fair to say. I'm not saying that Arne Slot has done a bad job. Arne Slot has done a fantastic job. But what Nuno Espirito Santo did is something that is out of the ordinary, something that you don't see any day at all. None of us here sat and said Forest will be top half of the table, let alone third. Let alone third, top half of the table. We said that Liverpool have great players. They might challenge, but they won't win it. But no one said that Forest will be in the conversation of even being in the top 3. They are in the conversation because of Nunes, because they basically have the same team. They only added Milinkovic, guys, from Fiorentina. So for me, Nuno Espirito Santo, what I did is beyond this world. That
12
doesn't
million. 12 million Milinkovic is literally
third in the league,
so
basically.
much at the back. He's been unbelievable.
He is.
Exactly, that's the whole point. I had Nottingham Forest relegated at the beginning of the season. I thought Nuno would fail.
For Allah, man.
Nuno would fail. I'm sure you did too.
No, I had them 8th, and everyone told me I was deluded in my own fan base, saying 8th. Yeah, now I look like I've under expected. You know what I'm saying? This is why the joke. I would even go as far as to say that it should be between Nuno and Areola for manager of the season. That's
But
what I
gotta
would say.
I have to say something actually, just for all of this before we end the show and do the
They're
couple of
both
super chats
Premier
before we
League
end the show.
managers that have
I have
been
to
in
say-
the
I have
Premier
to say
League
something.
before.
Actually, at the current moment, Nottingham Forest
hasn't?
still can be outside of the top 4 by the end of the season, and that will just change everything that we say. If Nottingham Forest finish 6th, which is a very plausible situation, actually, this is all just gone. What we're talking about, if not, no, it is gone.
If Forest get Europe, that's still higher than anyone would have given them credit for at the start of the season. Anyone.
If you finish 6th, actually, I would say that's a bottle job from where you were in the
It is a bottle
mid-season.
job.
It is a
No,
bottle
it's
job.
not. No,
It
it's
is a bottle
not.
job.
Europa is fine. What's wrong with Europa?
No.
That's a bottle job. It's
If
a
you
bottle
were
job.
third, if you were third with that many points ahead of fifth or sixth, by the way, I think you had the 8 points on sixth at some point in the season, right? Did you have like 8 points? If you finish outside of the fifth, that's a bottle job. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's a bottle job. I'd be okay with.
Yeah, but you still bottled it.
Nah,
right?
with all the
Anyway.
chest you've been having all season, bro, you and me. Don't try.
You can be
You
okay.
see,
with
me
Wolfie,
having
this
chest
is
and
Wolfie's
Forest
thing. He
finishing
comes with all
Europe
the
are two
chest,
different
and then
things.
when he loses, he plays victim. That's his whole gimmick, bro.
I'm not
He
playing
comes with
victim.
bare chest. Then when it don't happen, he's like,
I ain't playing victim,
You're
man.
gonna pick
All
on
I'm
little
saying-
old Forest.
well,
if we
firstly, I
finish
don't
fifth, it's a
think-
good thing, don't it?
No, well, firstly,
Wait,
I
Wolfie,
don't
do
think
you
that
still
Forest
think?
bottle
Do you
it.
still think Forest could finish above Arsenal?
Yes, Forest could finish above Arsenal.
Then, if you finish sixth by your definition, that's a massive bottle job.
No, it's not because you could finish seventh.
Oh, so you think we could? Okay,
I'm just
okay,
saying.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying. Like with
Let's
your,
go by this delusion,
what you
bro.
do-
Let's go by this
like,
delusion.
my season isn't defined by
no.
whether or not we finish ahead of Arsenal or not.
No, I'm going by your expectation because you said a couple of weeks ago. Okay, let's forget Arsenal. You said there's a high chance you finish second, right? Because you said you're the closest challenges to Liverpool. Yes, I agree. You mentioned Liverpool will win the league, but you said you think you'd be the closest challenges to them. So based on that expectation of finishing second, if you drop all the way to sixth, even by your own expectations from a month ago, not 6 months ago, a month ago, that's a massive bottle job, no?
I'd say disappointment based on my revised expectations, but if I sat here and you offered me Europe, you can try and fire it all you want, bro. It doesn't change.
Because last week, guys, let me tell you, those who didn't watch the Hussam channel, last week, Wolfie was asking me if Slot bottles the top place from now and drops to second, isn't that a massive bottle job for Slot? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, exactly. So why aren't you using that same logic?
Because we don't have a 13-point lead on fourth or fifth.
So change the narrative for Wolfie.
How's it changing the narrative? How's it changing the narrative? So you think Forest dropping from third to sixth would be a bigger job than Liverpool going from first to second with a 13-point change?
Given where you were a month ago, yes, it is.
It doesn't matter where we were. We were never 13 points
either
clear.
a bottle job or neither a bottle jobs. Which one? Wolfie?
You're only 4 points off sixth position. Forest are.
Yeah,
that's how,
exactly.
That's
We're
how
only,
tight it
I think,
is now.
6 points off 10.
Don't add to his argument, Mack.
That's how tight it is
I'm trying to
now.
help you lot out here.
6 points off 10th, I think.
And you're
it is.
4 points. Sorry, 6 points off Arsenal. So Arsenal aren't getting caught by anybody. Sorry, like
Really?
Yeah,
I would not be surprised at Arsenal flopping. Look at their next 3 matches. Look at their attack.
They don't concede many
They
goals.
don't
so they're always
score.
gonna
They
get
don't
points.
score. Draws are as good as losses at the top
me-
end of the table.
Let me do the super chat so we can just. This is very good argument. Jordz, he wasn't 11
I'd
points
be
when he said that.
absolutely gutted if I was a Forest fan and I didn't get Champions League now.
Me too.
You're only
yeah.
like
To
11
be
games off, aren't you? Like
Diallo,
They won't
listen,
get top 4, by the way. There's no
guys,
way.
let me just respond to the super chat.
probably not.
Diallo is saying he wasn't 11 point when he said that. I thought Liverpool were like 9, 8 points. So it's the same. To be
No.
honest with you,
No, it's when they drew to Everton. So basically,
which
if we
they
won,
were
it would have
8
been
points.
7, and if we won our game in hand, I think, or
Would've
something like
been
that, like
5.
No, okay, fair
Yeah,
enough. Then.
yeah, exactly. So he was.
You had a
right.
chance
It
to
is-
get it to 5 points.
It is why I said
Yeah.
that the winner tells the story. Always, the winner tells the story, Diallo. Always that happens in the world. Okay, someone is so sick of Wolfie. I'm sick of this Wolfie guy. Forest 3 years removed from relegation, a winning season in years. Am I reading this wrong? Yet,
He
the
has
first
banter and advice.
he has banter
yeah,
and
he has
advice
banter
to
and advice.
Arsenal. A smugness is shocking.
Guys, Wolfie's a cool guy. He's an amazing guy. But please be nice to him because we won't see him next season.
No, I don't
Yeah,
mind.
yeah,
I don't-
yeah,
I don't
he's
understand that
No one
logic.
invite him anymore.
Wait, hold on. I don't
This is his
understand that
farewell
logic.
tour, man.
If I
Give him his time.
supported Celtic or whatever, or most sports Inter, is Mo not allowed to have an
Al-Ahly.
opinion on Arsenal? I don't get the logic.
Nobody's allowed to have an opinion on Arsenal, Wolfie, apart from Arsenal fans.
And
And
even
more
within
how
the
it
Arsenal
works.
fans, they can't agree. You
And
know what I'm
more,
saying?
yeah, and more.
And more.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's crazy, isn't it? So you have to be. Which fan bases are allowed to have opinions on Arsenal? It makes no sense.
And he
Always
plays
victim
victim.
mentality, bro.
Surprise, surprise.
I'm gonna tell you what the problem is with Wolfie. Wolfie, the problem is
Criminal.
you really come across as like you're just bantering. You're laughing. You
I'm
have
not.
this
He is, though.
I'm
he
not.
is.
You're having this smirk on your face all the time. And you're like...
Because you know what it is? What I love about this is that I'm telling, in particular, Arsenal fans, a team I like, their fan base, deluded. But they don't like the fact that what I tell them is what they don't want to hear because they know it's true. That's the facts of it. Like your manager's job. I mean, with you two boys, I disconnect you from that. You understand your manager needs to go at the end of the season. I've been saying it for a year and a half. He should be going. But the Arsenal fans, the Arteta enablers, they don't want to hear it because they don't have the standards that maybe say, I know, Kunle, you're a bit older than Ashraf. You would have seen the Invincibles, the Premier League titles and stuff. Those are the Arsenal fans I respect because they hold those standards to their club now. These new gen Arsenal fans, I don't have time for them. They don't understand football or standards.
Redlana Taranga here is saying, wrong, Ashraf. It was our game in hand, which made it 7 points clear with the same games played.
Redlana Taranga, he said that after the Everton game. That's when the draw happened and he was pissed off at the referee. Your game at hand was against Villa, and you dropped points in that game as well anyway, so leave that.
Actually, it's wrong. The game in hand was against Everton, as you said, yeah.
Meaning the extra game they had. Yeah, it was the game in hand that they had, and then when they played Villa, they played the extra game, and we had now a game in hand, yeah. But the comment was after the Everton game because he was dropped.
I actually don't understand.
Everton.
All the people call out referees, like everyone calls out referees, like anyone.
I'll say this. Isco said something today.
Why
which
is
I
it so much problem? Why is it a problem now? Does anybody know? Like why?
It's because it's Michael Oliver. It's Oliver.
And I don't think it's okay. Yes, Oliver is a shit referee, like many English referees. But Isco said something yesterday or today, which I really liked. He's like, obviously he said that because Real Betis beat Madrid and he's happy he got a penalty and stuff. But my point is, his point stands where he said, we need to make the refs' jobs easier by not diving and not exaggerating whenever we're touched to fall and roll around and stuff like that. If we stop doing that as football players, then at least referees have easier decisions to make. Because now when they see a fall, they don't have to worry about, is this a dive? Is this an exaggerated touch? Unfortunately, football now is changed.
That's what VAR's for.
Great message, wrong messenger there still.
Yeah, please. Redlana Taranga saying the comment was made before the Villa game, by the way, lol.
Exactly, Everton game. That's what I'm saying.
It's the Everton game, Redlana Taranga, so yes.
Yeah.
It was the end of the Everton game.
Yeah. When
Arsenal fans are not fucking mono. I don't know what that word means.
Meaning it's not like he's basically saying like it's not like one person speaks for the entire fan base. The funny thing is, Wolfie, based on what you said, it applies to all fan bases, by the way. And I think
agreed.
A lot of them are super deluded, I agree. And they waffle like mad and they boil my blood, but I've literally seen other fan bases do the same thing.
Maybe my fan base is the same, bro. I'm not allowed to criticize the performance because we are third.
Wolfie, it was the same with Liverpool fans with Klopp. Like when
you couldn't call out a bad performance. Yeah,
they just couldn't. It was the cult of Klopp. They just couldn't deal with it. Like
I just have to tell you,
look, we need to be better. Maybe we should look at another manager. Like no Liverpool fans wouldn't have it.
To be honest, I don't know how long Mack has been doing like shows on YouTube and Ash, but I know that Wolfie has been doing it for a while and Kunle. In the quad charge season for Liverpool fans were the most annoying fan base in the whole world.
Like, in the what season?
That quad charge season. You remember that quad
in the domestic double season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. They were the most annoying fan base on earth, bro. Like it was ridiculous at that time.
You want an example of that, guys? They used to call it the quad season when they didn't win a quad.
The quad season.
That's why most uses it.
They still call it
that, bro. They still call it that, which is bizarre.
No, I hate Liverpool fans calling it that because it wasn't.
But you know
Marathon, just to respond to Marathon, based on what Sam, the time I met Hussam, was the quad season so annoying that I wanted to punch him. He was so annoying. And the majority, Tom Little was a smug at that time. It was ridiculous. Just to let you know, Maradon, just to answer you. Let me do this before we get off. OGN is saying Wolfie and Arsenal Forest should be brothers club. I don't get the banter, smugness. You loaned us your shirt.
That's true. Arsenal wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Forest. I have no beef with Arsenal. I have no beef with Arsenal. I hate
know,
Man
he has-
U and I
he-
hate
He
Spurs.
hates our
Those are
fan
the two
base,
teams
sorry.
I hate.
Our fan base.
I actually know that.
But I never see you
Wolfie-
banter United or Spurs ever, bro. It's always
Yeah,
Arsenal.
he's always on us, man.
I mean, do you see a Man U person on there?
But there was a Spurs fan, and you could have grilled them all 1 hour.
Right,
To
you
be
don't
honest with
think
you,
of
you
Warren
cannot
Johnson?
beat a dead man. Like Man United 14th and
Come on,
Spurs
come on.
at
Even I
like,
take
you know,
mercy
like-
at times,
Bro,
man.
it's
No,
like, what
it's
the fuck, bro?
really funny.
Hey,
with,
he's
like,
had
the
enough
the
hard
Arsenal
times in
fans.
his life, Ash. Come on.
Most scary, you know, like,
Can I say something
Yeah,
really funny
go ahead.
that'll wind up the Arsenal fans? Manchester United have actually been top of the league for one
Longer.
day this
One
season.
day, yeah, we saw that. And Arsenal 0.
Yeah, I don't
I
wind
would
me up.
rather, I
Don't wind
honestly,
me up.
guys, I would
No,
rather
not
be.
top of the league, but be second and 14th.
Yeah,
and top
No,
of
I
the
no.
league.
I would rather be top of the league 0 times if we're not gonna win it. Because when we were top of the league 93%, that became the banter of the century. So
Yes,
Yeah, but
end of
Ashraf,
the-
you're also closer to 10th in the league than you are to Liverpool.
Yeah, that's hilarious
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
That
But
was
we're
the next
we're
one.
gonna easily finish second. I think we're gonna
What
comfortably.
does that make of the
comfortably
rest of
finish
the
second.
league? Joke.
Yeah,
We'll finish
that
second.
makes you do the three-peat this year, isn't it? The three-peat.
The 3-second beat, yeah.
Yes, and end of the Everton games were both played 25 games. It was 7
Yeah,
points
yeah,
clear.
yeah.
Yes,
Correct.
yes, Red
correct.
Line Taranga. Correct.
Red
Nobody
Lantern,
argued
we
that
spent
Red
about
Lantern.
What's the
30
argument
seconds.
here? What's the
No, but
I
argument?
don't
I'm gonna
understand.
tell you,
They just keep
because
throwing money at Mo.
the
That's
whole
it.
point the whole point
Make it
is
rain.
that when Arne Slot called out the referee, he was like, if we lose the league, and he was 7 points clear. What mentality is that? So I hear
Yeah.
what people are saying.
Because
But that
George
could have
responded
happened.
back.
They're
George
reaching,
responded
man,
back
they're
to
reaching.
Diallo's super chat saying, "Yeah, but he's 13 points clear. He can be smug." So Diallo was saying he was smug when he was 7 points clear, not 13 points clear.
No,
Yeah.
but that
Diallo's
was
point still
huge
stands.
because if you had won your next game against West Ham and they'd lost to who was it, Man City, the title would have been in Arsenal's hands. So it's still tight.
That's that. No, that was before that. That was the Everton game. That was the game in hand. That
Yeah,
was
that was
before
before
that.
that.
Before.
No, it was after. It was after.
No. It's the Villa game when the Arsenal had the game in hand. The Villa game. The Villa game was after Liverpool
I don't know,
played
man.
an
I don't know
extra
what
game.
this conversation is anymore. It's like,
Anyway, okay. Villa game was in an Arsenal. Trolling Arsenal have now become fashionable. No.
It
by
always
their
has.
own fan base.
And I
Diallo-
agree. I actually think our fans invite the kind of banter and trolling Diallo. So
Egal.
sometimes we have it coming.
Guys, can you have Igal? Like, I just did a show with him. He's a cool guy. I like Igal.
I
I
didn't
love
say
it.
anything. Oh, Wolfie.
Ashraf, you said 7 clear with Arsenal having a game in hand. So Ashraf
Oh,
was wrong.
if I did, if I did, then my bad. Yeah, my bad. Deadline.
So Ashraf was wrong.
But
Red Line
Diallo's
Taranga,
point still stands. But yeah, in that case, my bad. Yeah.
Ashraf was wrong. But big up, guys, for supporting the channel. Big up everybody that's here.
Very rare, but yeah.
Forest Fan TV in the description. K-Mac channel in the description. Tunnel TV Media. Ashraf Talks Ball. Dorag, that is, of course. Big up. Thank you for having you, Wolfie. I appreciate you so much. K-Mac, fantastic. Good luck tomorrow against PSG. I hope that you win for Salah's sake. Ashraf, good luck today against PSV. You have to win. I'm not gonna fucking watch PSG play one of the Madrids. I'm not fucking watching PSG playing one of the Madrid.
That's going to be terrible.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
be
think we win
horrible,
tonight,
right? Like,
but
it's horrific, bro.
Well,
If
okay.
Arsenal freaking don't win against PSV, they might ruin the quarterfinal completely. Completely.
Do you mean win the tie, not tonight, right? Like if we lose tonight but win the tie, it's fine.
Yeah,
right?
win the tie, Akhi. Win the tie.
You have to win. You have to win because Real
Imagine you
Madrid
don't,
have to
man.
have some kind of challenge. Like,
Yes. Or
You
Atletico
don't
Madrid
just, like-
even. Or Atletico, like even if Atletico goes through, you have to have some kind of challenge. Thank you, Ashraf. Ashraf always gets my points. Thank you, Habibi. Big up Diallo. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone. كل عام وانتم بخير, everyone. May God accept all your good deeds, of course, and forgive all your sins. And we'll see you guys tonight. We have a massive show with Dayo, Igal, Hussam, Ahmed, and Olo for the reaction tonight. It's at 11 p.m. So tune into that. I will see you guys soon. And we are out of here, people.